StrayAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques underneath the umbrella of one unified philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is, how to have them coming to you. Before we get into this, I remind everybody I send out a text every day, guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point, called the Daily Motivation. Send one out every week called Monday Motivation. Get those texts by joining my text community by texting me at my number 305-384-6894. It's listed down below in the description. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That's the only place where I do any direct coaching. Any of you want to be coached by me directly, that's the only place to do it. And we make it very easy, very simple. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. You can see everything that we are doing, everything that is in our program, or at least a good overview of what our program is about. I mean, our program is based on what you specifically need, but you get a pretty good idea of what we're doing. You just go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. And then what you do is you schedule a time to get on a call with us. That's the only way you can join the university. You got to get on a call with us. We want to talk to you directly. Nobody can just join our university because we got a strict admissions policy. All right, and Work on Your Game University, meaning you got to talk to us first. If we feel like you'd be a good fit for what we're doing and we believe we can actually help you, we will let you know that. We'll tell you how it works, and we'll go from there. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Link is in the description. Secondly, so with all that out the way, let's get into this topic, which is, again, how to have them coming to you. Now, this topic is something that, as an entrepreneur, I'm the type of person who makes myself available, reachable, and I have all of my material publicly available. Like, all my accounts are public, and you can see basically anything I've ever published or posted, you can see it. I get propositioned often by salespeople who are not very good at pitching. Salespeople who basically are not good salespeople. All right, they're salespeople in name only. And some of them are good. Sometimes I do get a good salesperson come to me. Most of the time, they're not. I would say if I get pitched 100 times, about 98 of, no, not 98, that's too much. I say about 92 out of 100 are not good. 8 are actually have some idea of what they're doing. That does not mean I buy from all 8, but at least I respect their game. They actually know what they're doing. And today I'm going to explain to you the best way to do business and the best way to make sales with the least amount of possible friction. Okay. And in addition to all of that, it's a way that will increase your revenue all at the same time. Would you like to do all of those things at once? I think that you would. So you should listen very closely to what I'm going to say here today. I would even suggest, if you're an entrepreneur, that you pull out a pen and paper, or you open up a new document on your phone and you take notes on what I'm going to say here in today's episode, because this is the direction. Directionally, I'm going to tell you what direction you need to be going in your business. Now, to get into the details of how to actually do this, you're going to come into Work on Your Game University, and we're going to apply this specifically to your specific situation. But directionally, I'm going to tell you which way you need to go. Point number one, topic once again, is how to make them come to you. Number one, best clients are the ones who seek you out. Your best clients are the clients who come looking for you because they have heard about you. They know about you. Your reputation has preceded you. And they come looking and saying, hey, I heard about you. I heard you got this, that, and the third, and I am interested. Those are your best clients. Those are the best clients to work with, because they come ready-made to follow your lead, your direction, and do exactly what you need them to do. Those are the best clients. In short, what this means is, to get more of your best clients, you need to have them knocking on your door instead of you knocking on their doors. Now, let's be clear. I'm a person who is an advocate of knocking on doors. I'm an advocate of ringing phones. I'm an advocate of lighting up text messages and inboxes. I'm an advocate of doing it. I do it myself and still do it every single day. So let's be clear that when I say these things, this is not a binary, like you either doing one or you're doing the other. You probably will always do a mix of both. There are people who are able to not do any of the outreach and they just do all their business through inbound, and they do a significant amount, are few and far between. I know people who do a ton of business and they still do outreach because they're trying to reach more people faster. So while it is possible to generate business by knocking on doors, and sometimes it is even necessary to knock on doors to generate business, especially those of you when you're first starting out, Almost everybody has to knock on doors when they're first starting because nobody knows you, right? So nobody's going to be knocking on your door. They don't even know that you have a door to be knocking on. The best business is when they come to you. All right, that's the best business when they come your way. These are people who want what you're offering because they have heard of you in some way, shape, or form, whether by referral or by your content or by your ads or because you spoke somewhere or somehow they just came across you. They Googled something and they came across you and they liked you and now they're interested and they came in. Those are your best people. All right. These are the people that you want. And they are coming your way, looking for you, seeking you out. Okay. And they are already predisposed to being open to what you're going to offer. It doesn't guarantee they're going to buy it, but they are predisposed to be open to it because they came to you. Again, so it's not like you're trying to create some situation to have a conversation that someone doesn't want to have. They want to have the conversation because, again, they came to you looking for the conversation. So this is exactly what you want. A referral is an example of this. Those of you who know what a referral is, that's when you already have a client or a customer, and that client or customer says, hey, I have a friend who I think would be interested in working with you as well in the same capacity in which you're working with me. How do I refer my friend to you? And that's a referral. That person comes, they already have the know, like, and trust factor from the friend already built in. They're already predisposed to say yes to you. They already have been sold by their friend. All you have to do is close the deal. Referrals are some of the best business you can get. Any of you who runs a client-based business, you love referrals and you want to get more of them, which means you should be doing something consistently and systematically to continuously generate referrals. You shouldn't just be waiting for them to happen. Somebody following you organically and reaching out to you is an example of people coming to you. So there are many people who listen to this show and they listened to this show for some period of time, maybe a week, maybe one episode, maybe several years, liked the material so much that they finally reached out. They finally went over to workonyourgameuniversity.com, as they hear me say every day. And after the 100th time they heard me say it, they said, all right, let me go over to Work on Your Game University and talk to Dre because they just happened to be in the season in which they were ready to take that kind of step. They came to me and I say to them, how'd you find out about me? And they say, well, I've been listening to your show for 6 months. I've listened to your show for 3 weeks. Or I heard you on somebody else's show. They end up coming in. All right, those are the people that you like. You want this. This is an example of people coming to you. Somebody sending you a DM. Somebody reaching out to you via email. Somebody following your content. Some free stuff that you put out and they just reach out because you tell them how to reach out and they reach out. All right, this is what you want. All right, these are your best clients, not specifically because of who they are individually. That's part of it, but that's not the only reason. But because of how the relationship is starting out. It's much more likely someone will listen to what you say when they came to you looking for your help rather than you went to them saying, hey, I can help you. Because if I come to you looking for your help, then I'm probably going to listen to everything you say because shit, I'm the one who came to you. Or how am I going to reject what you say when I'm the one who came and asking for it in the first place? All right, so it puts you in a much more advantageous position than of the person who is knocking on the door trying to create something out of nothing. Everybody understand me? Again, it doesn't mean that creating something out of nothing cannot become a fruitful outcome. There are many people who are in our customer and client list here at Work on Your Game Incorporated, not just the university, but Work on Your Game Incorporated, who didn't know who I was, but they were minding their own business and they saw an advertisement or they came across some content or they were watching a show that is not my show. And I happened to be a guest on that show and they heard me and they said, this guy's interesting. And then I said, well, hey, go get a free copy of my book, or hey, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, or hey, join my text community. And they did it and they liked what they heard and they ended up spending money on something that we offer here at Work on Your Game. So it's not that knocking on doors and going to people does not work and it cannot produce a fruitful relationship. What I'm saying is the best is when they are knocking on your door. So you want to engineer that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And then Work on Your Game University, we will work with you directly on how to engineer this. I'm letting you know this is what you want. Then we got to work on how to actually do it. Okay, this puts you in an advantageous position. So you should possess the ability to create that something out of nothing, i.e. knocking on doors when necessary, because there will be times in your business that you need to do this. Okay, so I want to make sure none of you is discounting this. There will be times in your business, not just when you're starting out. When you're first starting out, almost everybody has to do this. So I know people who make over 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, who when they started their business, they had to go out and they had to knock on doors. I know a guy who he has a business where he's an authorized AT&T dealer. And he started his business by having a kiosk in the mall. You know, those kiosks in the mall where people sell AT&T phones and stuff like that. He started his business with just him He would work all day from open to close at the kiosk in the mall for some time when he first started his business. Nowadays, he owns multiple AT&T locations through multiple states, and he has probably close to. I remember I saw this guy was at an event that he did, and he had about 30 of his top performers, his top salespeople, all at this event. So it was like a recognition event for his top leaders, and it was like 30 of his top salespeople. But each location has like 4 or 5 people who work there. So this guy has a couple hundred employees who work for him. But his business started with him standing in the mall at a kiosk, like trying to talk to people while they walk by. You know, you're in the mall, people try to talk to you, get you to come over to the stand. That was him. Now he has a couple hundred employees and he owns multiple businesses in multiple states. So there is a time when you have to go in, knock on some doors, but you don't want to always need to do that. You want to engineer it to where people are coming to you but keep the skill in your back pocket just in case you need to go do it again, because you never know. Things can happen in business. And remember, you ain't got no safety net, so you can't sit around and wait for things to turn around when they're not going the way you want them to. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is you want them coming to you. You want them initiating the engagement. Number 2, in order for this to even happen, you must be findable and discoverable. Now, people can't find you, they can't come to you. See, people can't knock on your door if you ain't got a door. People can't come to you and say, I want to work with you, if they don't know how to find you and reach you and let you know that, or if they don't even know that you have a way to work with them. See, if people don't know that you have a Work on Your Game University, then they can't come to you and say, hey, Dre, can you tell me a little bit more about Work on Your Game University? See, nobody can say that to me if I didn't tell you that I had it. If you didn't know I had it, then you couldn't ask for it. So people had to know that you actually have something. You had to be findable and discoverable. In other words, if someone is looking for something, are you even eligible to be found in their search? From 2005 to about 2000, and I would say probably the whole time I was playing, 2005 to about 2015. If you went on Google or YouTube and you looked up anything related to practicing basketball, you knew my name, guaranteed, for a 10-year span. If you looked up anything that had to do with practicing basketball, even if you weren't looking for me, you would see my name. Even if you didn't choose me, like a whole bunch of options came up and you saw other people and you clicked on their stuff instead of mine, you still saw my name. I'm saying that to say this. I was findable and discoverable in the basketball space for 10 solid years straight on anything related to getting better at basketball. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you. Now, the reason I was able to build an audience in the basketball space and subsequently a business in the basketball space, because I was findable and discoverable, not necessarily because I was the best. I was the best, but that's not the reason why it happened. That's a tongue-in-cheek comment, by the way. I was able to do it because I was findable and discoverable. Meaning, if you looked up anything that had to do with that subject, you had no choice but to see my name. You see something often enough, eventually you're going to take a look at it, see what this person's doing. They happen to be good. Boom, there's an opportunity. So you got to be findable and discoverable. For what I do these days, I want to make myself just as findable and discoverable. It's a little bit, it's more of a challenge now because the space is more saturated. By the time I got to it, it was already more saturated. When I got in the basketball space, there weren't as many people in it at the beginning. So I was able to establish a foothold early before a bunch of people jumped in the game. But then I had so much material that no matter who jumped in the game, I was still going to be found and discovered. In the space that I'm in now, I'm still working on doing the exact same thing. There are more and more tools that we can keep using these days to do it. But you still have to be strategic about the tools. Regardless of how many tools you have, you still got to be strategic about how you use them. So if you didn't listen to my series on artificial intelligence, where it's coming from and where it is going, I would suggest you go listen to that. That was it starts with episode number 2759, using AI, artificial intelligence, in your business to get more things done faster. It's not going to do things for you necessarily, but to get the things you want done faster. It can help in the findable and discoverable aspect, but you have to have a plan for how to use it. Don't just be using it haphazardly. So you got to be somewhere that people would theoretically come to you and could know that you exist, that there got to be somewhere that they can find you. All right. So if they knew that you existed, they got to be somewhere that they can find you, contact you, reach you. So could your ideal customer find you right now if they wanted to? That's not a statement, it's a question. Could your ideal customer find you right now if they wanted to? If you run a personal training business, could your ideal training client find you right now today if they started looking for whatever it is that you offer? Would you even show up in the search? This is a good question. If someone was looking for you right now, could they find you? I'm not saying looking for you like your name. I'm saying if they were looking for what you offer Would you show up as a result in their search? This is an important question, because what you want to do is be in the places where your ideal people might be looking, and you want to represent what they might be looking for. This is all strategy play, folks. If they could find you, how would they find you? They find you, how would they find you? If your ideal client found you right now, what would be the way they found you? What would they look for? Where would they be looking? And how would you show up? If and when they found you, what would they see, and what would move them to take action? So you need to have concrete answers to all these questions. If you are shaky on any of the questions that I just asked, you need to get in touch with me at Work on Your Game University so that we can fix this problem immediately and fix it in a way that you no longer have this problem and you never had this problem again. It doesn't mean we want to make adjustments along the way, but we need to eliminate this from being a problem like ASAP. Because right now, some of your ideal people are looking for what you offer, but they're finding other people. They're finding your competitors because you are not positioned to be found nor discovered, which means you're losing money that you don't even know you're losing on right now if you're not catching the drift of what I'm saying. If you are not findable and discoverable, nobody can come to you because, again, they can't find you. Thus, the only way you can create business is by you going to them. And again, it's not that it's impossible to create business by going to other people, but it's a harder way of doing business that involves a lot more friction and resistance when you're going to other people and trying to open them up to something that they weren't looking for, rather than you welcoming with open arms someone who's coming to you looking for exactly what you have. Isn't that a much easier sale? Is it much easier to sell hot dogs when somebody wants a hot dog and they see your hot dog stand, or they go look for a hot dog stand, they find you, they're like, man, I'm looking for a hot dog stand all day. Perfect timing. Isn't that easier to sell that hot dog than somebody walking by and maybe they just had lunch and you're asking them if they want a hot dog? No, they don't want a hot dog. Just ate. They just had a salad and a steak. They don't want a damn hot dog. All right, it's harder to sell to that person. Doesn't mean you can't make a sale to that person or one of those people, but it's much easier when they're coming to you. All right, I think everybody gets the gist of what I'm saying when it comes to getting them to come to you. Person's resistance is much lower when they come to you and initiate the conversation rather than when you go to them to initiate the conversation. Gentlemen, for example, when you're out in public, and you see an attractive woman, and let's say this woman does not notice you, or at least she appears to not be noticing you, because maybe she did notice you and she's not interested. But let's say you walk up to her anyway. Any of you men ever done this? And where I come from in Philadelphia, we would do this all the time. We cut our teeth in communication skills by doing this. We would walk up to women who we were interested in, whether they had shown interest in us or not, and we would talk to them. Not in a negative, harassing way, but we would basically take our shot at damn near every woman that we saw, especially when we went to nightclubs and things like this. So, gentlemen, when you do this and you see a woman who is attractive to you, but you may not be that attractive to her, you walk up to her anyway, can we agree that conversation is more difficult when you are trying to kind of break the ice with this woman than if, on the other hand, you seeing a woman who you're attracted to, and she sees you, and she is giving you a signal, non-verbally often, that she is interested and she wants you to approach her? Isn't that conversation a lot easier when she shows you that she's interested before you even say a word, as opposed to when she doesn't show interest and you approach anyway? Which one is the easier conversation? I would think everybody would agree the second one is a lot easier. If you don't understand this, gentlemen who don't understand this, maybe you just don't have enough experience, but you can take my word for it, and you should go out and try it in the field yourself so you can see and know for sure. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to have them coming to you. Number 3, here's your job. You must manufacture this phenomenon on a consistent basis. You must manufacture this occurrence. And again, this is one of the big things that we coach entrepreneurs on. You want to manufacture this phenomenon so that it's happening on a regular basis, that people are calling you, coming to you, texting you, emailing you, DMing you, coming to your space and asking, hey, how do I get involved? That's what you want. 2 key words in this sentence, if you didn't catch them: manufacturing and consistent. Shall I repeat those 2 key words? Manufacturing and consistent. These are the 2 important words from that sentence that I gave you there. The way that you manufacture anything to be consistent is to strategize for a specific outcome. If you want people consistently coming to you, you must be findable by people who you want to do business with, and whatever messages you are putting out there need to be in line with what those people want and need. The good news about all of this is that even if you have none of it in place right now, is that you can plan and strategize for all of it. And then you will have it in place. But then, even then, you can't just sit and hope that this magically appears out of nowhere. You got to actually do stuff to make this work. All right, it doesn't just happen just because I told you what it is, but you still have to do some stuff to put the stuff in place. There are strategic steps that you can take to make this work. Remember that I told you, especially for those of you who do most of your work online, there are 3 ways to market yourself online. I talked about this in episode 1835. There's content, there are ads, and there's collaboration. Understand that this works offline the exact same way. So everything I told you works online, works offline. So content, there's offline content. There's offline advertising, and there's offline collaboration. Okay, so I said the 3 ways to market yourself online because I know many of you do your marketing online these days, but you can market offline the exact same way using the exact same principles, exact same strategies. So offline, you could do free stuff that gets attention. That's all content is. Free stuff you put out that hopefully gets the attention of the right people. That's all content is. You take that offline, you're doing the exact same thing. There are ways that you can pay to get attention. Advertising works offline the same way that it works online. Think about offline advertising is like a billboard, or you walk past the bus stop and there's that little stand. I don't know what they call that. It's like a billboard. It's a billboard, like the vertical billboards right next to the bus stop, the little bench that you sit on that has a canopy to protect you from the weather. That is advertising. That's offline advertising. There's many kind of advertisements you see offline. Any of you ever get in a taxi, you see there are ads on the back of the seat of the driver that are advertising to you. Sometimes Uber drivers have ads in their cars. That's offline advertising. And also you can collaborate with other people. I mean, everybody has seen collaboration happen offline. This is like, there's a place here in Miami called Niles Berry Farm. They have a strawberry patch where you can pick your own strawberries, and they also have a bakery where they sell these very popular cinnamon buns. And in the off season, often, like when their season is ending, because their season only goes from like November through maybe April. When their season is ending for the farm to be open, they often do collaborations with other businesses. So a business might do a collaboration like the Niles Berry Farms cinnamon bun combined with the local ice cream shops, ice cream sundae, and they'll collaborate. But that's an offline collaboration. It's not happening through the internet. You're not going to eat the food through the internet. You actually have to go to the shop and buy it, and ask for it and buy it. So there are ways to do all 3 things offline the same way that you do them online. The whole point is you want to draw eyeballs to people. You want to draw the eyeballs of the people who you want to serve. Okay. The good news about all of this is that it can be strategized for, but it must be strategized for. So I say it can be strategized for, but if you want this to happen, you must strategize. This does not happen just randomly on its own. That's why all of you entrepreneurs listening to me need to be involved in some way, shape, or form in the university. Again, at workonyourgameuniversity.com. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and recap today's class, which is how to have them coming to you as entrepreneurs. All right, you got to make sure that you are setting yourself up not only to have the ability to go knock on doors and generate business if necessary, but also you want business coming into you that is probably going to increase your value because people are coming to you. They see you as a higher value person. That's why they're coming to you. They're not waiting for you to come to them. They will be more willing and apt to follow your lead when they do start working with you, whatever it is that you need them to do. And it's just easier to do this business because you don't have to go look for them. They come looking for you. It's just easier. Point number 1. Best clients are the ones who seek you out. You want them knocking on your door instead of you knocking on their door. But you, again, point number 2, must make yourself findable and discoverable. All right, so they have to be able to find you. If someone's looking for you, your ideal client right now, could they even find you right now today? If so, how would they find you? What were they looking for? And what would they see? And what impression will they have? And will they be moved to actually do something when they do find you? Number 3, your job is to manufacture this phenomenon on a consistent basis. Keywords, manufacture and consistent. You can strategize to make these things happen, but you must strategize to make them happen in order for them to work consistently. And this is why at Work on Your Game University, we will coach you on how to do this. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. See what our program is all about. Schedule a time to get on a call, and we will take it from there. Work on your game. Dre, all